Hi, I'm Dave Crane, and today I'm going to share with you how you can get 10 years of branding in the future turned into just 3 months of hard work. That's coming up next on Speak on Stage. Nice to see you broadcasting live across LinkedIn, and I'm in my coffee shop set. It's all right, isn't it? It looks kind of nice. You'll see people walking behind me every now and again, which is kind of exciting. I don't know who they are. They're very virtual. It doesn't make them bad people. Today, it's all about you. It's all about the way of coaching people, you, so you have a brand that changes the world. And you're probably thinking, Dave, people talk about the branding stuff, but I don't really know how to do it. I've got an account on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. That must mean it's enough. And it's not. And there's a huge tsunami that's changing everything. Wherever you're watching from around the world, I'd love to know. Please feel free to share with me where you are in the comments. Got any questions? Ask them in the comments. There is a slight delay between me broadcasting now and me seeing your comments arrive. So if it seems like I'm ignoring you, it's not. It's about 30 seconds to a minute. And I have to look at it every now and again and make sure it's all there so I can share that with you. So with that being said, I always like to share with you as much as I possibly can. So today's session is something you might want to take notes on. You might want to review later on and go back to this video. And also, if you want to direct me, get to me, and you connected to me on LinkedIn, then it's going to be relatively easy. If not, I'll give you all the contact details you need to be able to work with me straight away. So let's have a look at what legacy truly means. First of all, if you want to be positioned as somebody who gets stuff done, you got to prove to people exactly why they should take you seriously. And that's not an easy thing to do. So let's just have a look at what you need to have by the time your career moves on, so people turn around and say, you know what? I did something that I'm really proud of.
I have been participating in Dave Crane's Industry Icon program.
Dave Crane is one of the best coaches in the industry.
One of the most knowledgeable speakers I know.
I was so impressed.
He shared the stage with celebrities, athletes, politicians, and royalty.
You've been an inspiration to me since the first time I saw you on LinkedIn, man.
New prospects should know that you are a world-class broadcaster.
He's a true professional. He operates from his heart, and he always speaks his truth.
Where do I begin?
I looked around the room, and all I could see was eyes on you, ears on you. You could have heard a pencil drop.
Dave is someone who is a limitless thinker with a big heart.
And his Industry Icon program helps coach great leaders into becoming great speakers.
It's helped me improve my image online.
Everyone I know that's worked with you says the same thing.
It's helped me improve my presentation and speaking abilities.
Clarity, clarity, and clarity.
But more importantly, it's helped me to have a crystal clear message in what benefit I can add to my audience.
I'm in TV, and so people assume that, speaking in front of crowds is easy. But I'm on a set, and it's very different to go from a closed set to speaking to a live audience.
Now, because of Dave, I totally get it. I totally get why it's important, and I totally get that I can do it too.
And it's true you can. And today's show, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. It's a podcast, it's a TV show, it's social media posts. That's just one of the strategies you put together when you know how to put together a broadcast that then can be chopped up to help build your brand. This is Speak on Stage. It's a pleasure to have you with me. Hello to Kathleen in Bruges in Belgium. Good to see you. We haven't chatted for ages, so it's great to connect with you as well. And welcome to everybody else. Let me know where you are, by the way, and feel free to ask me questions. I will get around to answering everything, but I don't often look at the other screen while I'm working because I get so excited doing this. So if your life is a bit like this, then you'll understand exactly the challenges. You start off going, it's really great, I'm all excited. And then tough things happen, you go, oh, it's really hard. Then it's good, it's working. Oh, messed up again. Now, this is a snapshot of a day of somebody who's making decisions. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You could be a career high flyer, an employee, a side hustle. You could be a student. This is a typical way that people go through life or through a week or through a day. Or in many cases, it could be 10 years, but you can just look at snapshots of this. Now, this is what life should be like, because it's natural for us to feel like this. But as you go along, it's important to create little pockets where you can turn around and say, there's the evidence of how good I am and what I do so other people want to work with you. So as I'm talking about the Industry Icon program, which I will talk about in a few moments a lot more, what I want you to do is get your phone, hold it up to the screen. Here's my phone here. So you hold it up to the screen now, and you get the QR code, and you click on it, and it should take you directly to the speakonstage.com/beta page. And from there, you're going to be able to work straight away, have a look at what the beta course is about. We start in a few days' time, and you could join us. So with that being said, hello to SM Shakara, for Ikram. You haven't said where you're calling from, but it's good to see you there as well. My name is Dave Crane, and you're thinking, right, who's Dave Crane? I've never heard of him before. What does he do? Well, the important thing about whoever you are and what you do is that people can find out in a very short amount of time, because it's not about you. It's about them. The big question you've got to ask is, what's in it for them? And if they can work it out very quickly in a snapshot, or in a very short phrase, it's called a signature phrase, or a signature theme, or a signature message, then they'll say, that's why I need to work with you. So this is what I do. I go on stages around the world, didn't during the pandemic, I'll tell you that, but I did online, and I help people to become really well-branded and well-sought-after industry experts. And it's good to see Ambassador Helen Onadipi. Good to see you as well. Where are you called? Oh, from Nigeria. Fantastic. And so when we talk about actually the impact that you make, you want to be able to go onto a stage, or you want to be able to have a signature video or a signature part of your branding that people can turn around and say, that's what you do. And this is what I do before I go on any stage. Now, let me give you an insider tip. When I go onto a stage, sometimes I'm introduced very well. They say, Dave Crane, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes they say, he's a hypnotist. Don't look in his eyes because he'll make you walk like a duck or something. So when that happens, I will play this video because it resets the room and means that people have no misconceptions. It's very important people know exactly who you are. Let me illustrate to you this video to prove how it works.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've hosted over 1,000 events, and there's nothing more exciting or nerve-wracking than getting to introduce one of the best in the business. He's an award-winning international motivational speaker and coach. He's worked with celebrities like James Brown and Bruce Willis.
And I'm Jack Canfield. And I'm Brian Tracy.
And I'm John Gray.
I'm Jared Robin.
And I'm Perry Marshall.
Hi, and I'm George Regan.
To audiences of over 1 billion people. He's sharing how to become unstoppable in business. It's my honor to introduce to you Dave Crane.
There you go. So it looks like I've got a massive ego. That's not the case. This is purely strategic. And for those of you who know me really well, this is me. This is how I chill. This is how I hang out. So what I do is I mentor decision makers to go from invisible, unknown, and scared to speak in public to highly respected and branded industry experts who make great content that drives their sales. I can say that to you because it's completely true. If I met you in an elevator, or I met you at an event, or we're just chatting on LinkedIn and you say, Dave, what do you do? I can tell you that, and instantly you can go yes, no, when it comes to actually doing business together. And right at this moment in time, we have a group of people all lined up to start the brand new beta group coaching program, because I've never done that before as Industry Icon. It's always been individual mentors, but now's your chance to come in at a much more cost-effective rate to be part of a community that's going to grow incredibly over the next 3 months and beyond. And I'll tell you more about that in a moment. So if you're wondering, Dave, okay, prove it. Well, here's some proof. There you go. There's a picture of me 30 years ago working with the Prince's Trust. That's King Charles III in the UK. At the time, he was Prince Charles, and that's working the Prince's Trust. And so I've been helping young people those days when I was a young person to be able to position themselves and be able to get jobs and to get motivated and go from all the depression and challenges that they were dealing with to being able to be fully functional and successful. And there's a commendation from Prince Charles to say it's great work done. So what's that got to do with you? Why does it matter? Well, you may have noticed that there's a tsunami here. It was on the way. I know people talked about that, but it's actually here. The AI, artificial intelligence tsunami. Now, I've heard lots of people turn around and say, yeah, I've been onto ChatGPT, and you know what? It's okay. It's not great. It kind of does some interesting things. If that's the case, and you're treating it as a search engine like Google, there's got to be a reason why Mark Zuckerberg has dumped all his metaverse stuff and put all his resources into AI. Elon Musk getting into AI, Google getting into AI, Microsoft putting $10 billion into developing AI with ChatGPT. Something like 80% of jobs will change forever as a direct result of artificial intelligence. And you may say, well, no, Dave, they say that about different things, but not everyone's going to buy in. Excuse me, you have a choice. Let me explain why. Unless you're working in construction, or you're maybe a chef, or you use your hands to build stuff, then you use a computer. And your expertise and years and knowledge of working on stuff can be replaced. How you make a final decision might not be replaceable, but the legwork of get to that decision is very different with artificial intelligence. I don't want to spend too long on this. You can Google it or look up ChatGPT yourself. But everything is there. The evidence is there. Now, during a pandemic, I had a challenge, which is if you're a speaker and you're traveling around the world and you're doing big events and people are saying, wow, that's amazing. I want to work with you. And I want to do all this stuff. And I want you to host my events. And then a pandemic shuts everything down for 2 years. What do? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I fell back on the fact I know how to teach people to brand. So I created the Industry Icon program and started mentoring big hitters all across the world on how they can position themselves as the best in their industry. Now, I'm not talking about being an influencer. That's a different thing. Most influencers can't talk in public. They can just do really good stuff about their dinner or their beauty products or their hair or whatever it is, be funny. But there's a combination of all of it. And I truly believe that the angle is not about being shiny. The angle is about being really good at what you do and letting people see you're really good at what you do. So whatever is your particular industry, people will want to work with you because you're quite clearly brilliant at doing it. Does that make sense? Right, emotional intelligence related little bit precious information. Right, I'm getting a message here. It's not about emotional intelligence. I'm not going to talk about emotional intelligence, but that's built into everything we look at. If anybody doesn't know emotional intelligence, let me explain it to you very quickly. Okay, emotional intelligence has 3 different stages. First of all, it's what you think and how you feel in your head. It's how your clients or potential person that you want to connect with, how they feel. And it's about creating a way of getting how you feel towards them so they feel the same way. And that's a communication of emotional intelligence. That's what it's all about. It's 3 stages. I have a slide somewhere. I'm not going to be able to find it in time. But that's what emotional intelligence is about. So thank you very much, Shahrukh, for asking me about that one. But let's go back to what I was talking about, which is about the Industry Icon. So with that, it's a question that you need to ask. And this question is really big. What does society really want? Well, society actually wants this. It wants you to prove that you have status. And it values your dominance in your particular industry. It values the success that you've brought by being there. And it values the virtue to prove that everything you do, you walk and talk what it is that you have as your expertise. Now, for normal people, dominance would be, for instance, to dominate a sport would be like Messi or Ronaldo. Certainly before. For success would be making money in tech like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. And virtue would be the way that you stick to your guns and you don't change on that, like Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, like the Pope. People you say, well, you've said this, is this true? And they say, I'll stand by it. Those are the people. And you might have different views. I'm not arguing about the examples. I want to tell you that where you are right now, you can do the same thing. First of all, little tip is if you're very good at what you do, be warm to everybody on the way up. Be open to help them because they will then appreciate that. If you want to show you're successful, share your expertise. Don't just make it up as you go along and say, I know stuff. Show them, explain, help them, and also be sincere. If you goof and you mess up, tell people. It's one of the things that you have on your own learning curve. When you're mentoring, coaching other people, you'll learn more about yourself at the same time. And that means you've got to create a version of yourself on an ongoing basis, reinventing yourself. And for many people, this diagram really means a lot. Now, let me share with you what this diagram is about. Doesn't matter what age you are, you're always in a position where you can reinvent yourself. And the great thing is, at the age that you are now, the fact that you're on LinkedIn watching this means you're at an age where you're reinventing yourself in a very special way, which is, I'm ready to do big things. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this. You'd be doing something else. You're watching this because you're wondering, well, how do I fit in? And there's no age gap to it. If you look at Ray Kroc, he was 52 when he founded McDonald's from a very cool business model of the McDonald's brothers and how they created burgers that got straight to all their customers in a short amount of time. Mary Kay Ash was 45 years old when she started a home goods door-to-door service. Similarly, J.K. Rowling, the billionaire, created Harry Potter. She's the 31-year-old single mum waitressing when nobody had any interest in her book. But when they did, she pursued it, and it happened. There's so many stories I could share with you. You're probably already aware of the famous Colonel Sanders, 65 years old, had a secret recipe for chicken. Took him 8 years for somebody to pay attention, and now they're one of the biggest brands in the world. So it doesn't matter what age you are, but it does matter what you do with the time that you have left. There is no barrier apart from what you decide that you want to be. So many people suffer from imposter syndrome. What's imposter syndrome? It's a belief that I could be bigger, but something in my head stops me believing that I can do something about it. Well, that's what I want to share with you a little bit about now. When you're born, there's a lucky life lottery. Your location, your race, the amount of money you have, who you're connected to, your spiritual beliefs, your nationality, your preference in gender, your physical ability, and the traditions that you grow up with, and also your existing influence are not your choice. They're created, and you kind of have to deal with them. But what you do next is up to you. Your personal brand is what you create from those choices and what you decide to do next. And that's how you present yourself to the rest of the world. Now, I'm sharing this with you because I want you to consider what your brand is. And I also want you to make a decision, and you have to do it very quickly, about whether you could work with me and have me help you by mentoring, by coaching, with a small group of business professionals to all build your individual brands to be really significant on a global scale. First question then is, who's your target audience? So if you know who your brand is, what your brand is, how the world sees you, then who is it you're trying to reach? Don't say, oh, everybody who does this. Everybody's too big, which means nobody's interested. So once you know your target avatar, ask a question, what's in it for them? Because if you don't give them what they want, they're not going to be interested. Now, when I talk about your target avatar, this is a clue, not just for business, but towards your relationships as well. If you're married or you're in a relationship or you've got family, friends, always ask what's in it for them from your relationship. And if you're just giving them what you want to give them and you're finding you get rubbish results, that is what's wrong. Work out what they want. They'll be happy. They'll want to give back to you, and everybody enjoys it better. But the bottom line is certainty in business. People work with you for the certainty that you will deliver what it says on the tin, what it does on your LinkedIn profile, or what your company promises. Not just about what people say you'll do, you actually have to prove it. So with that, you've got to have proof. So let's look at this very quickly. This is the business model that everybody should be using to understand what your clients want. There's a buying process. I'll go through this quickly because I've been through it in several videos before. Your client has got a headache. They're saying, who can fix it? They've probably gone to Google or some other search engine, or they ask about, or they post on social media, and they get a couple of different options, and then they ask the question, who's the best fit? And will my headache disappear if I work with them? Once they've decided, yeah, that's probably okay, then they say, well, can I get it cheaper than that person? If the answer is no, they'll buy. If they say to you, oh, it's too expensive, this is true about clients, it's not that it's too expensive, it's just that they've got other options. They will have no choice if they want it that badly enough to buy from you. But you need to make sure that that is the case. So this Venn diagram you see next to it in yellow, you can see the certainty and social proof, the evidence. You've got to make sure that you're in a certain niche that you can aim to be the best at, because people buy you because they want to work with you. Because you really choose anybody else, you're the best at what you do. And then they've also got to trust you. So they've got objectives. They want to see a return on investment, and you've got to know the sales process. I can show you how to do all that and how to monetize your brand. You're saying, okay, so there's money in this. What kind of money? Let me give you some examples. Now, this is not a definitive figure for how much you'll earn. I know people who earn a lot more than this. But as a speaker, you don't actually have to be a proper speaker. You can just be able to talk to people in a small setting, and it still works. Most people look at the yellow circle and say, yeah, that's what a speaker is. You know, hosting events and being able to give keynote presentations and sitting on panels and being an expert on stuff. Yes and no. You don't have to do that as a coach or a mentor, and still you can make a lot of money. You can show people what you do as part of a membership group and just do it on a podcast or write about it. You can also have products and services that are front and center on what it is you do, but you then talk about it to people. You can also talk about other people's products and do affiliate sales and commission for that, and introduce people as a speaker. Doesn't mean you do it on a stage, just by making a phone call or sending a text message, bring two people together, and that's called a joint venture. And you can see the activities. There's tons of different ways of creating that. Now, I show people how to do that with the Industry Icon program. Now, I can share with you very simply, and Sridhar, good to see you pop up, by the way. Sridhar's a very dear friend of mine, based in India, and he's an excellent, very talented speaker. But even as a speaker, it's still true. You do get imposter syndrome, but I show people how to turn it around and use it to give you a superpower. And it's incredible how much it works for you, because it lets you know exactly who you are and what you need to do to be more effective. Getting some great stuff here. Okay, I'm getting to Sharuk saying, great branding as well. Brand loyalty helps to reach and desire your destination. Well, it makes other people get to help you on your destination, so you go there faster. With this, let me share with you what the Industry Icon Initiative is. It's open now, but we're closing it in a few days, and you might miss the opportunity. So we cover in 3 months overcoming imposter syndrome, bringing your personal brand together, and also creating constant content that people want to work with. It's an online video course, but also you do Q&As live with me, and you're going to be connected to a like-minded community who'll be there for you as well. There's only a few seats left, by the way. And when we look at that, the first 3 months, it's a beta course, so you're instructing me, I'm helping you, we're working it together to perfect this course. That's why it's such a super cheap rate right now. And then we look at what you do for the next 3 months. You work with our Game Changers community, and then you work on your signature project. It might be writing a book. It might be creating a podcast like this one, or a video podcast that can also serve to be able to work as a TV show for you and your business. Creating membership sites, becoming an international keynote speaker, traveling the world for free to talk to stages of people who are into your industry, and people pay you for that, and creating multiple income streams like I showed you earlier. So if you want to do that and you're very interested, go to speakonstage.com/beta and have a look at all the details I've got for you there. Or go straight to DM me on LinkedIn, or even go to industryicon@davecraneglobal.com. That's the email to contact me on. Say, Dave, I want to be there, and we'll send you all the details that you need to have. Okay, if you're not sure as well, and you want to see more about it, then have a look at this QR code, hold it up your phone. This QR code will take you directly to the webpage for speakonstage.com/beta. Now you're thinking, wow, this is a really slick way of doing it. I show everybody who's an industry icon on the course how to do this. So your game raises, whether it's for you, for your business, for your friends, for your colleagues, or a side hustle. I show you all this stuff. So discovering your superpowers is a really important way to do this. I'll give you some case studies about why it is important to be able to go out there, have a brand, and become an industry icon. Let's look at a small business owner. That might be you. You might be a small business owner thinking, how does it fit in? How does it all come together? And it's great to see Brenton, my dear friend and my brother from another mother, from China. Hope you're well. Love this. So helpful. I'm glad you like it, Brenton. By the way, I've been doing this for a very long time. Brenton knows this because we used to work together many, many years ago. But here's the thing. If you're a small business owner, or you're actually a big decision maker in an organization, doesn't matter whether it's a side hustle or you're working with somebody else or you got partners, because the fact is, once you're doing this, there's a couple of things you need to know. So supposing you're struggling to attract new clients and you lack a real sense of online presence or even an in-person presence, that's the problem. The challenge is that you get stagnant revenue, things don't change, and you don't get any bigger. That's why it's really important. You heard the noise there. It's my dog coming into the room. She does that. There you go. She loves coffee shops. So before, what you do as a solution is you do traditional marketing. We're going to hand out flyers, we're going to advertise in local newspapers, going to spend a fortune on the radio to see if we can get people to come. They can be useful, but they're very expensive, especially if you're just starting out. Now, when you start working with me as an industry icon, you can use your new branding skills, your social media management, create sales funnels, and create a really strong online presence that attracts and converts clients. So people see you, they know that they're interested in you, they've already built up a relationship with you, and then in the future, not only can you grow your brand, but you open up business opportunities with clients all around the world who just wouldn't have known about you before. Let's take another case study. Let's take this one, for example. If you're a college graduate, or you're starting up your business straight afterwards, and you're saying, right, how do I get a job? Because everyone's got the same qualifications as me. Yeah, but they haven't got a brand the same as you if you've built it up. So let's look at college graduates, for instance. So your big problem is this. you're struggling to attract investors, or if you're a startup, investors in you, or if you're a startup owner, you're struggling to get investors to want to put money into your organization. I understand that. The challenge is you're not getting traction. You feel like you're begging all the time, but there's a two-way process. They want to know that you will give them a return on investment to give you that financial support. Before, you'd go around pitching a generic pitch and you'd do research on the company and all the rest of the stuff. Once you're an industry icon, they know who you are. You're certified, but you also know how to build that bridge with people. They will come to you. Or when you knock on the doors and connect, they have a look at who you are. They'll Google you, they'll look at you on LinkedIn, they'll look at all the different places and touch points that you create. You might have a book, you might have a podcast, but you make it easy for them to say yes. And you have great communication skills. You'll know how to pitch. And that compelling pitch makes them say, you know what? If we invest in this person, half the work is done. I don't have to babysit and take them through the stages. I just act as a silent partner, put some money behind them, let them do the legwork because they know what to do. So as you're doing that, you can connect with many investors, you can network with them and other entrepreneurs who want to help you to grow your business. Let's take another person. If you are a public speaker or influencer, you probably already think, no, I know all this, Dave, I'm fine, I'm out there. Well, I guarantee if you're a public speaker, it's unlikely you're making a ton of money. You speak for free because people are just saying, well, can you speak? And you go, yes. How do I know that? Because if you go and you put into LinkedIn what the people look for speakers and how many of them have a day job and we just kind of speak at things here and there every now and again. And most influencers who are able to turn around and get massive traction on their videos or their posts, you see them in public and it's like, well, I can show you some YouTube videos. No, it's not about that. Let me show you exactly why. So the big problem is if you're a speaker or an influencer, and hello to Mohsin as well, good to see you. Let me know where you are, by the way. I like to be able to talk to lots of different countries, and it's fascinating. So the problem is if you're a speaker or influencer, getting paid speaking engagements. The challenge is you're not visible enough, and the exposure that you have doesn't say I'm a great speaker until you do something about it. Typically, you do traditional marketing, giving out business cards, ringing up cold calling event organizers. Hi, this is me. Would you like to work with me? What have you got? Well, I'm really enthusiastic. Yeah, that's why you're working for free. Once you're an industry icon, once you've been trained to do this properly, you'll know about the personal branding. There's a strategy with a media kit of getting people to just take one glance and say, right, this is the one that I want. Because the thing is, it's not what happens with the event organizers that you're talking to. They've got to be able to pass your stuff onto a third party, often a sponsor, or the company that the event is actually paying the event organizer, and they have to turn around and say yes. So once you've done that, you've created yourself and positioned yourself as an industry icon, and this is not just as a professional speaker. If you want to be a speaker and you've got a day job and you're good at doing what you do, you can be a speaker in your industry and attract people to come to you because the opportunities come from that. And event organizers all know each other. And if they don't like you, they'll say no good. But if they do like you, the word spreads and then you get calls from everywhere. All right, let's take a creative entrepreneur, artist, musician, somebody who's got a job where their personality goes into their art and it goes out. Jeff Benison, hey, all the way from the UK. In fact, Jeff and I know each other very well. And we've got skeletons in the closet we could never share. We go back to school that far back. Anyway, great to see you, Jeff. I'm glad you're joining us. And you've got some incredible opportunities coming up. And you will be on this course. I know you will. Okay, creative entrepreneurs who are creating something which isn't within the normal way of doing it. If you're creative, it's really hard to charge for your work because people have to see that what you deliver has value. And it doesn't matter how long you spend. You're not working by the hour. You're creating something special that positions your art or your work somewhere. But the big challenge is people don't often appreciate that. But they do if you build a brand around it. So let me explain. So you can't really monetize your passion because people don't know how hard you've worked to get to that point. The famous story about Picasso, who was approached in a restaurant by a lady who said, can you do a picture for me? So he picked up a napkin and he picked up this napkin, he drew something on it with a pen and he handed it to her. And she said, that's amazing, thank you very much. He said, no, that's $50,000. She said, but that took you 30 seconds. He said, yeah, it took me 30 seconds to draw that for you, but it took me 40 years to learn how to be so good. I don't think she paid the money. She probably just got some water and ducked a napkin in. I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is that when you're an artist, people don't appreciate it. The challenge is you don't get the sales because you're doing what you love, and it's not always a sustainable income stream until you look at what you would do. Now, typically, if you're an artist, you do more research, try and create more art or more music, but that's not the problem. The modern problem is you've got no branding, no marketing, no collaborations, no special projects, not looking at a loyal following or finding out who's interested in your particular creations. That's not what you do, is it? You create stuff. But when you add that for the Industry Icon program, then it all changes. And also, you're able to connect with people, creatives, and managers and agencies that are able to do the heavy lifting for you to reach their audience and monetize your passion. Let's take something else, by the way. Let's take somebody else. Okay, if you're a freelance writer and author, this is a massive one. If you are a creative and you're creating work like this, the big challenge you've got, and I'm leaning across to get my coffee. Can you see this? Straight out of Wakanda. There you go. I've been to Wakanda. In fact, I've got relatives there. If you're not a Black Panther fan, you've got no idea what I'm talking about. So you're a freelance writer and author, and you've already worked out that ChatGPT and Bing's AI and all the rest of it are on the market now to do what you do super cheap. Writing articles, doing blogs, doing all the creative stuff that you took for granted because you were very good at doing it. Here's the thing. You might still be good at doing it, but that's not the problem. Here's the problem. High-paying clients are all over the place, but they might not pay for you. So it's really hard to get sustainable income. And just like all the other artists, you're really good at what you do. So here's a challenge. You're not getting enough results. And it's a chicken and egg situation. You can't get out and do more work because you're not being paid enough to do more work. You're taking up jobs anywhere, doing anything, but that's not what your passion is. Before, you'd have done more traditional stuff, cold calling to clients. Look at me, I've done all this stuff. You should work with me, I'm amazing. But when you're an industry icon, your brand is out there. You can be replaced very easily, and you will be replaced in many ways by the fact that you are creating content that anybody can create now online. But here's the thing. With the right branding, effective marketing strategies, and signature projects, the high-paying clients will want to work with you. I'm going to tell you exactly why in a moment, because that thought leader in your industry is key to this. You'll get new business models that you can network with other writers and publishers who could reach and also get stuff out, books, etc. Let me explain exactly why this is so important. Right now in front of you, I'm holding my phone. Right, that's my phone. It's an iPhone 13 Pro Max thingy. Great phone. So, this phone has hijacked what most people needed to have, which would have to have a Sony Walkman in the old days, I'm really old, and a camera, and maybe a calendar, and a diary, and all these different things to be able to just do the same function that you get in this. Now, if you're getting married, and you're saying, right, I want some photos, would you trust somebody with an incredible bit of tech like this to take your wedding photos, or would you pay for a wedding photographer? Even if your friends had them, you're still going to hire a wedding photographer because you want to get it right. So let's go back to this. If you're a writer or an author and you're creating content, there's still plenty of room for you, but you've got to prove that you are worth paying for. Otherwise, people will do it themselves. Are you with me with this? Exactly. Okay. Differentiation, as Suresh just said, makes a big difference to the impact you have with people. This is completely true. You want to differentiate yourself to be the best at what you do. You want to be at the top of the food chain, because if you don't do that, then they'll go for somebody cheaper. But they'll pay for you if it seems like they can't get anybody as good as you, and you can guarantee that you'll do the job that they're looking for. Small business owners looking to expand. There you are with the idea, we can be bigger. The world wants what I do. Here's a big problem that everybody faces if you're a small business owner. Let's just go for this. Problem is, building a strong team, managing your company's growth, it's a big problem. The challenge, you're not getting the traction and growth you need to succeed. Before, you do more research and you try to do everything on your own. But when you understand the leadership power and you understand the positioning yourself, your team will work around you. You'll find people are attracted to your organization. You're a great communicator, so you do less work. You can have a helicopter view on top of your business, looking down and having people doing the work for you, and accelerate the growth of your startup so you can reach the right clients and the right people because your brand is embodied in what you do. If you're a great CEO, then your brand is worth about 50% more to your organization, because people will look at your organization, look at you, your personality, your expertise, and say, if I'm going to invest in something, I'll invest in that company. Even if a company is not as big or the results are not as good as another company that is bland. They prefer to know that they can work with you and they've got a direct person who's working so hard to create that brand. So that increases the opportunity of getting investors. You can network because people know who you are when you walk in a room, and other entrepreneurs want to be connected to you. Get that whole point? So real estate, let's take another market. Now, I'm based in Dubai. Dubai is one of the most gorgeous places on the planet and also one of the most incredible business places. The real estate industry is amazing. We're building properties. Some of the best properties, including the world's tallest building, are based in this country. And if there's another one that comes along, we'll build another one. Doesn't matter. With Dubai, we do everything. I've been here 30 years. I feel a level of ownership to say we when I talk about Dubai, as many people do when you live here. So if you're a real estate agent and it's a competitive market, you are saying the same things as everybody else. You're selling the same property as everybody else. So you get the keys, you go, you show somebody around, give the keys back to the organization or whoever the owner, and then somebody else brings somebody around to have a look at it. You're competing against your other people in the organization who are other estate agents. You're competing against other agencies, but you don't have to. Here's why. Right, first of all, if you're a real estate, take a look at this. The problem is trying to stand out in a crowded market with new clients who are just looking for the best deal and not getting results that you need to grow your business. However, before, what you do is cold call. Put your business card everywhere. Are you looking for a house? Talk to me. Knocking on doors, going around organizations. Would you like to get a property? Then I can help you. But once you understand personal branding and effective marketing strategies, communication, and you're able to convert clients because you know how to sell better, you'll stand out as an expert in real estate. Imagine the real estate podcast you could have, the TV show. Imagine going live when you look around a property. You point out all the different things that are right and wrong about this property. People won't be interested necessarily in buying that property. They'll be interested in buying you. And they'll say to you, can you help me? I want to buy something, I need your advice. I want to sell something, I need your advice. I want to rent something, I need your advice. So you can then farm it out to your team or do it yourself. The choice is there because your brand is front and center. In an organization where everyone's going me, 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 they won't do that. They'll just say you. So the opportunities are you become the go-to person in real estate. Let's look at something else. If you're a fitness coach or a gym owner, tell me where you're sending your details from, by the way. It's great to have people joining me on this podcast, on this live session here on LinkedIn. If you're a fitness coach or a gym owner, or you're in some kind of delivery of a product to people, you're selling your time, and it's really, really difficult because often, because everyone else is selling their time at the same time as you, then you don't get paid a huge amount of money. You need to have a brand that stands out. There's a formula for being paid, which I've shared with people before, and the formula is very simple. You get paid like this. The effect of what you do and how cheaply you can be replaced by somebody else. So if everybody is a gym expert and they can replace you with somebody else, it's really hard to demand a certain amount of money because they can get somebody else. But if they want to work with you because of your results and your brand, that's when it changes completely. So here we go. The problem is you're struggling to get clients and to make sure you've got money coming in all the time. The challenge is not getting results you need for your fitness coaching business or a similar business. You could be a chef, could be anything. Before you do traditional marketing, handing out flyers to people or posting on social media or nagging fat people saying, look, I can make you thin. They might not want to. They're really comfortable with their size and they really don't need you body shaming. Here's the thing. When you've got better ways of strategizing and branding, people who you want, which is the people that are looking for you, will find you. Now, I know you're busy working and you're saying, right, Dave, that's great. That's fine and dandy, but I've got clients to look after. That's how I pay my rent. I know. So you create sales funnels. We'll show you how to do that. So when people connect with you on your social and they give you their contact details for whatever reason, we'll talk about the strategies at a different time, then your sales funnel will automatically take care of that relationship. Start contacting them. Let them know that there's a meeting available on this time, or they can set up a Zoom, and that all happens without you being there. It's true. And then in the future, you've got opportunities to connect with other business professionals, set up a bigger business, or even use your skills to look after gyms. Who's Jim? If I have to tell you that and you're a fitness professional, let's move on. Let's give one more example then. In e-commerce. So you're in retailing online, e-commerce, and you're selling stuff online. So the big challenge is this. You're trying to attract customers and you're competing with larger retailers like Amazon and so on. You're very good at what you do, but the challenge is they're massive. It's so big that everything you put out there, you might have a better supply, you might have a cheaper price point for them, but they're just monsters and they're so good at what they deliver. Before you drive your price down, you spend a fortune advertising and you give massive discounts to the point where you're on a loss leader. You do stuff just to be seen. And you're paying people to be there and you've got no profit. You still got bills, you still got to eat, you still got a family to support, or at least yourself. But when you're an industry icon, you can use branding, positioning, social media, sales funnels, create an online presence that people say, I've got to find out what you do. You're able to talk to people. Supposing you were doing interviews on a podcast with all the different suppliers you have, or then talking about why they're the best in the business. You position your brand, your products, your services, your online stuff with just a link. People go to your website and they can buy. And why should they do that? Because they fell in love with you. And in the future, you can connect with other people and get paid to sell their products too, because they will just say, I haven't got a brand. You have. Can you talk about my stuff? And what do you say? Of course I'll talk about your stuff. And you know why I'll talk about it? Because you're going to pay me a commission to do so. Do you get it? It's exciting, isn't it? Okay, last one. I'll do one more. Life coaches or consultants. I know there's a few people here. If you're a life coach or a consultant or working online, on LinkedIn, any particular place, your big challenge is this. You're either working or you're marketing because you're selling your time. Bit like a gym instructor. If you're a consultant for a company, same thing. You can't leverage your time easily. So here's the thing. Your problem is very simple. You're struggling to attract new clients because you're busy working with existing clients and there's no gap in between. The challenge is you can't get the results you need to prove that you're really good at doing this. If you're a poor life coach, and there's so many out there, you might know that this is you as well, it's appealing to you. But so what you normally do is you turn up to places, you cold pitch people who are not interested in it, you post stuff on social media. No, that's not what you do. When you understand the principles of personal branding and effective marketing strategies that are down to you, who you are, who's your client, what it is you create for them, and why they should want to work with you, and you put that out there very specific and get sales funnels that take care of the heavy lifting and automation, your clients convert without you even being there. Before you know it, you've got somebody who sends you a message, I want to work with you. And that's what you've got to do if you're interested in the stuff I'm sharing with. So you then connect with other coaches and professionals, you get invited to speak on online summits and at conferences, and everybody, there's so many life coaches and consultants out there, but not everybody wants them. They want the ones that they know are guaranteed with certainty to deliver, and that needs to be you. So what's the benefits of being the industry icon? Well, here's simple. The benefits are very easy. Personal benefits, increase confidence in your abilities as a business owner or even starting your own business, improve communication and presentation skills. You can do stuff like I'm doing right now. That's why I show all my clients how to do shows like this. You are positioned as a leader and as a manager because you're very good at what you do and people can see that. And also greater self-awareness and motivation. You've got more clarity in your life objectives and your life purpose, and it becomes simple for you. That makes you happy. But what about professionally? Well, here's the thing. You've got a stronger personal presence and online presence so people can find you and want to work with you. You've also got more effective marketing strategies. If some don't work, you add more to convert and attract new clients. And when you arrive at an event or you put stuff there, people can Google you and see that snakes and ladders takes you straight to the website and to buy your products, and you can automatically set up revenue. Whilst you're out doing other stuff, your business is working for you, even as a small business or a sole business operator. You improve customer relations and satisfaction. People work with you because they know that you're very good at what you do because you can spend time on that. You're not busy just running the business. You can increase your revenue, more money, and your profitability because your brand takes care and people will let you off. If you've ever had an effective, I won't say brands, but if you've ever gone with a big brand and you've had a bad result and you're going, this is not great, you go into a shop and they replace it and they apologize and you go, okay, because you know their brand is out there and they will fix it because other people will make sure that that's a thing. That's why they feel the certainty of going with a big brand. You don't have to be a big brand. In fact, in many cases, you are the brand and that's enough. So you can create signature projects that attract clients the way that they want it to be, filling a gap in the market. Of course, let's talk about finances. Let's be completely and utterly open on this. You can earn higher potential through your money, through sales and your revenue and your different business models when you are a brand. When you're an industry icon, you can charge higher rates, for instance, for your products and services. Yeah, everyone charges this, but why would you pay for a Lamborghini? Why would you pay for Mercedes? Why do you pay for a Tesla? It's just a car. No, it's not just a car. Well, what about the stuff goes in? That's more expensive. Yeah, but it's not worth 4 times that. But when you drive that car, people look and they know that you're minted. They know you're worth it. That's the whole point in doing it. Do you get it? So your passive income can also come from sales funnels and websites and stuff you set up. You can have affiliate streams so other people are selling their products, but people will click on your link and go to their site, not your site, their site, but it can come through and they can say, oh my goodness, I'll have to pay you commission. It's done automatically. You can sell other people's products, but you get paid for it. Then you can increase the value of your business if you want to sell it in the future because you've got proof that it's more than just the time you put in. The business can stand alone because it's already set up to be bigger than that. And of course, new income streams for the very signature projects I talked about earlier. This is why you want it. So it's tangible. You overcome any limitations you have in yourself. You can amplify your strengths and people turn around and say, wow, you're brilliant at what you do. And you can concentrate on what you love. That's the whole point. You can achieve your business goals rather than a rat race, especially in a recession, doing stuff that you don't really want to do because you're trying to make it work. No, concentrate what you're brilliant at, and people will pay you for that because you're the best in the industry. That's what an industry icon is truly all about. If you're fascinated by this and you want to know more, then we're closing the doors in the next 24, 48 hours. We haven't got a lot of time left. In fact, we're introducing a session to all our people tomorrow night, and you could be in with them. Take the QR code, click on it, go to the website, send me an email, or contact me directly through LinkedIn if you can't wait that long. Just say you're interested here on this website now, and send me a message if you're not directly linked to me, and I'll find a way of connecting with you. The details are here, already given it. Go to the QR code. If you haven't done that, then let me show you it again. There it is, QR code. Take a quick snapshot, and there we are. So who's going to benefit? There's the last few spaces. It could be you. This is your opportunity. I'm not joking. If anybody turns around and says, yeah, but not me, that's fine. Here's the thing. Let me be completely transparent. I don't want you to do it unless you're going to put in the commitment. This is a group coaching on positioning you as the best in the industry. But because it's a beta, it's the first time I've done it as a group. I've done it with lots of people individually, but doing it as a group, I want feedback because I know how I've positioned myself. I know if you go to ChatGPT and you put in Dave Crane, who's Dave Crane, it will tell you exactly who I am. If you say, write something as Dave Crane, it'll do it as me, or at least what it perceives me to be. If that's not the case for you and you don't show up in it, then you need to have a brand that makes you stand out, to be different from everybody else. And that means that people want to work with you. So once again, this is the thing we're going to be looking for with the program. We start very soon. You can overcome imposter syndrome, personal branding, and constant content creation. That's the first 3 months. We work on different aspects of this through video training, through live Q&A sessions anywhere in the world. You can do it on your phone. Doesn't matter. If you miss anything, you can go back over it again. And you're in a like-minded community of big hitters. Not all of them are big hitters, but they're thinking big. They've got passion. They know they're going to make it happen. How do they know? And how do I know? Because they're working with me. And then you can go on to write your book, do your podcast, do a video show, create a membership site, become an international keynote speaker, traveling the world for free and staying in 5-star hotels and having multiple income streams, all based on the fact that you invested in yourself and joined our beta group. Go to speakonstage.com/beta. And so with that being said, you can also contact me through my email, industryicon@davecraneglobal.com. Take a snapshot of that and any of the other slides, go back through the video and you can see everything. So I hope this has been useful for you. I didn't want to spend too long on it, but I hope you got a general idea of why this will change your life or your aspirations, because you can get what would normally take 10 years of building in 3 months' time. By the end of doing this course, you'll be ready to launch your products. And in a world where the tsunami is, artificial intelligence is changing everything. Artificial intelligence is reducing jobs. It's altering jobs as well, but it's changing your something you've worked on for years. Or you may be finding that you worry about your job, or you may be finding that you're expanding, or whatever it is. If you've got a brand, then people will come to you and ask your advice, or at least you're able to pivot much easier because you've got an audience paying attention to you. And I hope you've enjoyed paying attention to me. This has been a pleasure spending quality time with you, and I hope you've enjoyed this experience. Contact me directly. We will be closing our doors very soon, and hopefully when we do bring the doors across, you will be inside and sharing with us exactly what makes you so special with the rest of the world. My name is Dave Crane. It's been amazing having you here. If you want to go back over this video and see stuff, it will be there for a while. Also, contact me directly or ask me any questions. I'm here to help you. It's not about me. It looks like it is. It's not. I don't care. I've done it. I want to make sure you get to where you need to be. Because guess what? When you go to university and when you start working a job, nobody tells you because they're all interested in themselves. I'm not. I'm interested in you. It's in my interest to make you successful and make you bigger. So let's do this. It's time for you to become an industry icon. And with that, I'll talk to you soon.